I didn't plan on being an activist. I just ended up being one. So I used to work as a security guard in Qatar, and for a couple of years, for like maybe four and a half. And over the years, I saw like a lot of things that are happening that I did not like. Labor violations, you know, amongst other things, mistreatment of workers, people taking their passports, domestic workers getting abused, you know, all these things. So one day I just decided, you know, enough is enough. And I decided to do something about it and not be quiet about it. What triggered me was I'd been working very hard, more than 12 hours a day, no offs, some days, you know, and all that. And I'd managed to buy myself this pair of shoes, right? I remember they were white sneakers. In fact, they're the ones I have in my room right now. So one day, so when a company gets a new contract, the client has to come and inspect and audit the company. So when they're doing the auditing, one of the, we call them camp bosses, the managers of the camp, they came into our rooms and started arranging the rooms, trying to make it look better so that it looks good for the client. And in the process of doing that, you know, moving things, shuffling like Tetris basically, right? Like stacking things, my belongings were damaged. And I came home from work and I looked at it and I was like, I worked hard for that and now it's destroyed. So like that made me very angry. So that is exactly what triggered me. So all these things have been happening for about a year, but that moment is what triggered me. So that same day, I wrote an anonymous email to the client listing all of our grievances. And when they did not respond, I took it a step further and now I created an anonymous Instagram and Twitter, and I began, you know, sharing and describing our conditions. I got a lot of support from even the Qatari people. As a matter of fact, I got a lot of support from Qatari students. That's why I'm always passionate about students, because they're so open-minded, and you know, I got a lot of support from them. So what kept me going in prison was the fact that I did something right, and I did not regret anything I did. So when I got out, what kept me going was the fact that I was able to have forged relationships with various organizations, you know, Amnesty, Human Rights Watch, ILO, you know, and various, you know, countries and all that. So I felt a sense of community in that I was not alone, because when I was going to prison, I thought I was alone, but apparently, like, you know, there's massive support. So when I got out, I had a lot of, you know, support, and I didn't feel alone. And I still wanted to continue my activism. So yeah, so that's what kept me going. In the beginning, I thought that it was being loud and being, you know, in your face and everything, which worked, you know, to some extent. But now that I got out, I figured out it's more about strategy and diplomacy, because you can only throw stones for so long until you become a target. So now it's about being strategic, it's being diplomatic, it's willing to sit at the table with someone who's trying to oppress you and, you know, coming to a form of understanding. It's not easy, I'll tell you that, it's not easy, but it is necessary. The reintegration of migrant workers. So basically, it is when you get someone out of distress and you bring them back to their country and then help them to kind of land on their feet in the same way that I was given, right? So I was taken out of the country, brought to Kenya, given a place to stay, given some work to do. I got the Freedom Fellowship, I got it. So basically people supported me through my whole journey. So if I was to ask people to support one thing, it would be to support, because we have this project ongoing, we want to support other migrant workers who are in trouble. So we did some research and we found out what needs to be done. We found out how much needs to go into them and all that. So yeah, the reintegration of migrant workers, and you know, because again, let me just say this. This is pessimistic, but people have been enslaving people since time immemorial, right? Ever since time began, people have been, it's not going away. So what I can do, or we can do as migrant defenders, is try to assist or help from the other end, you know, try to rescue, try to rehabilitate. One of the things that has been very helpful for me, and this is personal, right? It's having that sense of community, you know? And that came in the form of the Freedom Fellowship for me, right? So when you have a sense of community, you feel like you're not alone. And most of the times, as people on the ground, as grassroots, you know, activists, organizers, and, you know, all these things, we sometimes feel like we're alone. And the task is so big, and we just like want to like live it all. But if you have a sense of community, you know, you can have always someone you can talk to, someone you can reach out to, someone can just, you know, take a break. So I'd say find community, find a tribe, find people you can trust as well, because not everyone is your friend. Not everyone who smiles at you like wants the best for you. Find people you trust and find a community that works for you. Oh, by the way, I don't know if it's sure, but